mind, when I think about Black culture, it's usually going to be your best friend, right? It's going to be your mom or your dad's best friend. It's going to be somebody that is not your immediate family. Correct.
They don't censor their words as well as we do. Or if something happens to be on the TV that doesn't, we don't freak out about it because it's like we know you're going to be exposed to these things. But the important thing is that you understand how to conduct yourself.
They'll know Frozen and all the movies. But we in the car the other day, they talking about ho in unison, talking about they not like us. I'm like, where did this come from,
Man.
What it do, y'all? It's the Triple F podcast, back with another banger. This is episode 5. You feel me? I'm one of your hosts. I'm Ty.
I'm Marcus.
Dre.
And like I said, it's another banger for your head top. How Drake be talking?
Another tune for your head top.
Man, banger man.
I'm cheesing, fam.
Cheesing, fam. All right, how y'all doing, man? It's been a week or so. How you doing?
Good, man. Good.
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 I always say, when people ask me that, I always say, trucking along.
Trucking along, man.
All you got to do is keep going.
I don't want to, look, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, but when you said trucking, what'd you say, trucking along?
Yeah.
Yep, I can tell.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what?
What does that mean?
One of our topics is, raising kids in a biracial household. I just feel like that's not a thing that would have been said in my house. I feel it.
Yeah, but I also just experience life, so I come across a lot of people.
Man, bro told me I'm not seasoned. I like that, but I don't at the same time.
How you doing, Ty?
I'm doing cool, man.
Yeah.
I can't complain. Life is lifing.
Yeah.
You feel me?
See, now he trying to say something. He trying to say something cool to be like, look, see what we say over here is life is.
Hey, look, bro. I ain't trying to do nothing, bro.
Life is life, and what that mean to you?
Everything is everything.
All right.
Came up with another one.
No, I mean everything is solid right now, bro.
Okay.
Like I said, like what y'all say, episode 4 or 3, whatever it was, I ain't got nothing to complain about.
Yeah, praise God.
Life has been good. Yeah, praise God,
There you
man.
go.
Praise God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't be mad about nothing. Beautiful.
That's good.
Let's get into this episode though. One of these things that I've seen on the internet, and I've seen in life, I ain't gonna cap, I've seen it in life, is parents allowing their kids to decide whatever future they want to have. I can't speak for everyone, but I know in my household it was just like, go to college, you'll be good, but there's no direction behind it. It's just like if you go to college, you're gonna be successful, and it's like,
Like it was an automatic process, huh?
yeah, like it's automatic. If you go to college, you're gonna be successful. So my question to you guys is will that be your parenting style, or is it gonna be more of a nah, you can go into, if you go into college, you're gonna go for this or that. Like we're not choosing an ology. You feel me?
Analogy.
Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be intention behind it. I wouldn't necessarily say like there's already gonna be a pre-identified box that it needs to be, but it's got to make sense, because the world's changing. There's people that's getting millions of dollars off streaming and stuff like that now. So who knows 18 years from now, whatever new thing is going to be a possible way to make money for real and actually make sense. So I wouldn't say it's predestined in a way of you got to be a doctor or you got to be a lawyer. But when we get around that time, you're not just going to be doing something just for the hell of it. It has to make sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only time it might be right now, I just do you're going to do every sport I want you to do until you show me that you like this one specifically, right? But same thing, I think I'm going to let you experience what you want to experience. And then when we get to a point when it's like, okay, now let's sit down and have a serious conversation to discuss maybe your plan, and then let's kind of work on it together and I can add some direction. But I'm not going to tell you, predetermined, hey, you got to do doctor, lawyer, but whatever that is in school. I'm not going to do that. So
That's interesting.
How about you?
I think I am. If they want to go to college, I think that it ain't just gonna be left like we not just doing anything.
Are you
I, like
are you
look,
basing it off of the knowledge you'll gain though? Because like he said, we don't know what it's going to be. Your kid's only 18 months.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's going to
Yeah,
be.
no, but I'm saying if they want to go to college, there's some, I don't want to say bulletproof things, but there's some
Right,
things
right.
where you just
Yeah.
know that you go
Business
down this
stuff or-
path,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
going to
yeah, I
be
got you.
successful.
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
true.
I'm going to gear them towards that direction. We're not going, like me, I went to college, I majored in communication, and I'm like, I don't know what that does for me
Right,
nowadays.
right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that no one's successful in these fields.
Yeah,
But I'm
it's a
saying
very-
it's a way harder thing to be successful in than going the doctor, lawyer,
Yeah.
XYZ route.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I don't know. I initially had a problem with that, seeing people do that, but then I thought about it and I'm like, are they gonna be mad at you when they are doing all right in life?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's almost like I think off air we had to talk about sports and Amaron St. Brown's dad and how like you force him down a certain path and it turned out successful.
So now what do I?
And I've heard him say like, I ain't tripping. I can't be mad because
Right.
he got me here.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if he didn't make it to that level, would he be mad?
Maybe.
Because I feel like that's still the possibility of, well, I mean, even it could go a couple ways. They could struggle through law school and eventually not be that lawyer.
Mhm.
And then what? Or they could become a lawyer and not feel fulfilled by being a lawyer. And then what? You know what I mean?
Right.
I guess that's what I think about. Like, I feel like it's got to make sense, but I still want it to be somewhat their choice. But it's just got to be a good choice. Like, it's just got to make sense.
Gotta make sense. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Me neither.
We're not majoring in music though. I'm sorry. To all you music majors, art majors,
Right.
communication, we're not doing it over here.
Yeah.
I ain't got much control once they hit 18, but I ain't allowing it.
But I don't got much control, but I'm not allowed. But I think your outlook on it is slightly different from what it used to be from when we were coming up and our parents and their parents, which is their thing didn't have to do nothing with that. It was you're going to college because that's the only way you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's transitioned into, okay, yes, I want you to go to college, but I'm going to help you figure out these things and show you that, hey, you may not want to go this direction because it's not very much out there for that. But if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, there's a wide range of things that you could become successful at by doing those things, right? You're presenting the options, whereas back then it was just like, well, I don't care what you're doing, but you're going to college to be successful.
Yeah, and I think also that parenting style back then could have came from a place of, for lack of better words, ignorance or a lack of knowledge.
No.
My parents didn't go to college. You know what I mean? So like in their mind, just going to college was probably good enough.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was lack of knowledge because, so let's say our parents, our grandparents, I don't know if it was lack of knowledge or that is in fact what the truth was then, which
At
was
that
the
time.
people who were surrounding them and were in fact successful, whatever, business owners, own their own homes, had decent wealth or whatever, they went to college. So that's all they saw was, well, the only people we know that are successful are the people who went to college. And so it was their truth at the time.
Kinda. Because they also went to college, and I'm sure they had a certain job after they went to college. So, like, you can put 2 and 2 together and see what they went to college for. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there are statistics that
Yeah.
show college-educated people in general earn higher than uncollege educated. I don't even know if that's the word.
Uneducated?
People that didn't go to college and graduate. So I think there's merit to it, and the fact that our generation, we've seen the devalue of the degree.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean as much as it used to. So at that time, maybe it was something worth glorifying. And we got there just to figure out, like, oh, man, times change for real.
Yeah, for
it's
real.
not, it ain't all that now. They looking at my bachelor like it's an associate's. They looking at my associate's like a diploma.
yeah. Yeah, that's real. Shoot. I'm having a hard time believing communication was a good degree at any time in life.
Well, what kind of careers come out of communication?
Um,
When you went to school for communications, what were you planning on using that for? You didn't. Okay, you didn't. Okay.
didn't know.
All right.
Didn't know. Well, I'll say this: like, you can't. I wanted to be around sports still, so like sports casting and stuff like
And
that.
you had to have.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get in broadcasting and stuff like that. Journalism, those are the type of things that come. Social media managers and stuff like that come from communication degrees. So
Okay.
like I said, it's not like you're not doing anything. It's just like,
Yeah.
you know,
You didn't give yourself the best chance with that degree. Is
yeah,
what you're saying.
not the best chance. But as I say that, it makes me think like people can say that about like our occupation now. We self-employed. I remember growing up, entrepreneurs looked at like he ain't got no job.
Man.
Like that's what it was. That's what it was.
He
when
was
we
like
growing
Tommy
up.
off of
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Things
times
change.
change. But okay, now that you say that though, I know that you have that stance, and you're co-parenting. What if her mother had the stance of like, no, she can only. How do you navigate that situation?
If she can only go this certain path.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. We try to avoid being on different pages as much as possible. Obviously, it happens, but between myself and Anna's mom and my wife, we work together to be on the same page as much as possible. So I can't really speak to a hypothetical, but I know anytime that we've disagreed about something, the way we approach it is mature and looking out for her best interest. And I would just hope that continues, because we all love her, we all care about her, and that's what it's about for
You're
real.
at the center of it all, man.
Yeah.
Y'all care about your child. That's
Yeah.
all that's supposed to matter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not co-parenting,
Yeah,
but
right.
I have seen people on the outside looking in, and some situations I'm like, and I don't want to come off judgy, but you can tell when people don't put their kids first, and it's like there's a disconnect there.
Yeah.
It's sad to see, but like I feel like that happens more often than not. So it's commendable that you guys are communicating well and you guys are able to stay on the same
I
page.
feel extremely blessed because you hear the horror stories and you hear people talk bad about their baby daddy or baby mama or whatever, and by the grace of God, things have been pretty smooth, and we do always try and keep her at the center of everything. Yeah.
I have because you're, and again, this is a hypothetical, I guess, but do you think things would be different co-parenting if it was a son instead of a daughter? And I'm only asking that because I know people, right, that they're co-parenting and it's a boy, it's their son, and as time has went on and he gets older, I can see the shift that probably can come to be soon, which is like you might live with your mom full time, but we might need to consider living with dad full time, whatever that may be. Do you think that would change the perspective of how you co-parent? Again, I don't co-parent at all, so I don't even know what it's like.
And just how you don't have that perspective, I don't have the perspective of raising a son yet.
Yeah.
So I can only guess, really. I guess I would assume that it may be different, and it may put me in a position where I feel like I don't know for real, because even the position I'm in now, obviously I approach it in a way that I need to put as much influence in this as much as possible. Whether she's here with me, whether she's there, I need to be on the phone. I need to be visiting. You need to be coming to stay with me. We need to be doing certain things. I need to be intentional as much as possible, and I know the power of my influence, and it's like it's a constant. It's a seesaw,
Yeah.
And at times where I feel like it's being weighed down to a point of my influence not being impactful enough or not being understood enough or realized, well then I gotta change things up. So I think it would be no different.
Hey,
That's good.
to that question, Like I said, I'm not co-parenting, but I was a kid. I was a son
Right.
in a situation like that.
Right.
And like I said before, I think communicating and is the key to all that, and them keeping the kids first. Because if not, I feel like they grew up like how I did, where I'm in a situation where like I have questions, and I don't really know how to navigate them.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of lack of communication and togetherness from my parents to parent me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I said, like I'm not in the situation, but I feel like I was as the kid.
Yeah.
And to remedy that, I would say that it's just about keeping the kid first in any situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can see that being the answer.
Yeah, it's difficult though. I don't want to come off like it's easy.
No, for
but
sure.
No, it's
for
not
sure.
easy.
I mean, because there's just
It's not
no.
easy.
Yeah, he's like you said, it's such a, I assume, a seesaw with everything, and it's just because the obvious, right? Number one, we're not in the same household. There's things that, things are going on, whether you choose to or not. At the end of the day, the reality is things are happening at my house a certain way. Things are happening over here a certain way. We got to make sure we're on the same page, because you're not going to leave over there and come with me and think you could get away with something. You're not going to leave here and go there and think you could get away with something.
And
So,
that's a big thing lately. So a couple things about that. Like you said, there's two different realities, right?
Yeah.
We're doing our best to make them feel like one reality, because that's really what it is.
Yeah.
You have multiple parents, but you have parents. It's not like someone stops being your parent when you're with the other one.
Right.
So taking away the blurred lines and communicating as much as we need to know, like, okay, we're dealing with this with her, so when she goes back over there, be mindful of this, and also we're upholding the same things.
Yeah.
So as much overlap as we have as possible. And then obviously what comes with that too is there still are boundaries of, well, okay, when you're with your mom, she may do some things differently.
yeah.
But it's not the issues that are the most important, or the things that are like,
It's like
It's
very
not- it's
minute.
not-
It's like very minute.
yeah,
things,
because
yeah.
everybody has their way of life, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, it's a balancing thing. But I think, well, not I think. So far, we've done a really good job, and sometimes it's easier than others, but
Yeah.
we've done a good
Nice.
job at that. Shout out to everybody involved, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. We each have our own perspectives of parenting kids in the house. You have co-parents. Some people have step parents. But what do y'all feel about godparents? Do they have a role, or what is their role? What is the significance of a godparent in you guys' eyes?
I mean, I go back to the quote unquote, from what I remember, the original reason or definition, right, of it was going to be to your parents, it was going to be the people who looked after you if anything were to happen throughout life for them, and, take care of you. So that's what I think. It's the thought process that goes into it initially. At least that's what it used to be. Now I could probably say it shifted away from that, and now you're just choosing people who you think are going to be, I don't know, the coolest with your kid, or somebody who was the coolest with you or closest with you, and they're going to be the fun people. That's all. I mean,
Do your kids have any godparents?
my kids have godparents, and it's my best friend. I mean,
No.
and I'm the same for him.
Yeah.
But again, my thought in it was the person that I trust to look after my kids if something were to happen to me. Hey, y'all, this is the person.
So question
Yeah.
to that though. So your best friend, you're the godparents or goddad.
Yeah, for both. Yeah, so
Okay. So do you have a role, or are you just kind of like the funkle? You know what I mean? Like,
I am the Funkle, but I think
Funkle.
I think like he's allowed me the space, and I would allow him the space. Right? He has two sons and a daughter. So a little bit of a different dynamic because I have two girls, but his oldest son is 11, and then his youngest one is 5 or 6. when I'm over there chilling and we kicking it, I speak to him accordingly, right? Hey, no, we're not doing that. Or, I speak to him as such. Now, I'm not speaking to you as your dad. I'm speaking to you as your uncle, who is like
an extension of the dad.
correct,
right?
correct. So I'm gonna enforce what I know your dad would say, or what your dad's already said to you. Hey, didn't your dad just say you're not supposed to be doing that? Right? And I could be fun at the same time, but yes, I do have a duty now. Oddly enough, I was just thinking about this the other day, that I do feel like I'm not fulfilling my duties enough to my godchildren. Like, I don't hang out with them as much as I would want to, or that I should, really, right? How you gonna take care of somebody and you don't even have the best relationship? And I love them, and we see each other quite often, but I want to take them out on my own, right? Hey, let's go over here to the little arcade, or let's go do this. I want to do more of that, and I don't think I do enough. So, to your point, I do have duties, and I do have a duty that I would like to fulfill, and it's those types of things, but I'm just not doing it as much as I should.
That's real. I'm immature, bro. Because we didn't say Funko and duty.
I know, yeah.
All right, go ahead, Marcus. You have godchildren.
I do.
Godchild.
Yeah. I agree with pretty much everything Dre said. I think it's a title that's kind of been watered down, or at least I've observed. I'll say it like that. I've observed other people that take it more seriously than what I see a lot of people do. And yeah, I also feel at times I should be doing more. But I also feel like I would feel that without a title too, just because like people that I'm close to, like your kids, for example, I just feel like I should have an impactful role in their life, and I don't need a title to tell me that. But I think especially if you have the title, you should feel that pressure. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on it.
Do you have a godparent?
Yeah, my Uncle Larry is my goddad. I love him. We cool, but I don't know that it would be any different than him being my uncle. You feel me? Like, that's my dog. Like, it ain't a negative thing either. But we don't refer to each other as like godson, goddad, or nothing like that. But I do know he's my goddad.
Go ahead.
Well, and I was just thinking about it because you asked that question. I do have godparents. I got the whole god family. They're the same family, but it develops because their daughter used to watch me when I was a baby because my parents lived in the neighborhood. And then their parents became my godparents because we've known them for so long. But if I had to choose, they would be who I would strive to be as godparents with the title.
Really?
Like, probably, I don't know, for a long majority of my life, they were the ones taking me to Disneyland. They were the ones, and they were doing this for all their grandkids and everybody, right? But they were including us as if we were not just god kids, we were their
That's dope.
grandkids, right? They were taking us to Palm Springs. They were taking us to Disneyland. They were taking us on everywhere, right? And if I could say that they were godparents, that I'm like, if somebody asks, yeah, I got godparents,
Yeah, that's who you strive to be as a godparent.
Yeah, because I feel like that plays a factor into your duty to those your godchildren, right? Is like, look, I'm here to develop a relationship just as you would if you're with your parents. Again, because if I think of the original reason I'm thinking of, if one day something were to happen to your parents, I want you to know that we also are just as, just as there for you as your parents were.
Yeah.
That's solid.
That makes sense. I personally have a different, I guess, relationship towards godparents. I think it's cool, and I honestly think how you do, like it was intended to be. But I also understand what you're saying when it comes to like, that's an honor, regardless of what people think it means or what it should be. It is a high honor to be somebody's godparent. Now, me personally, my mom told me I had a godparent when I was a kid, right? A godmom. I don't know if I ever had a goddad. But I remember her telling me I had a godmom. I got a little older, and she was like, what? No, that's not your godmom. And, it kind of like...
They stopped being friends or something?
Well, if I'm being brutally honest, I think the woman ended up on drugs and on the streets, but it's neither here nor there. I don't know the full story, but I think when that happened, they obviously weren't friends anymore.
Right.
And then my mom was just acting like I never had a godparent. I'm like, nah, like I ain't crazy. I know what you told me. You know what I mean? Like she was around. I
When was the
remember
last time you asked her about it?
this was probably like a year or two ago.
Oh, so she not going.
Yeah, she was like, no, she was never your god. Okay.
She feeling some type of way about it.
Like, okay, yeah. But as far as me giving my kids godparents, to me, because of that situation, like, it's not as big of a deal to me, like, to do it. But for Janae, she has godparents. Like, I think I don't want to be general, but I feel like it's a cultural thing where it's like they take it way more serious. Like Nino and Nina, and like that's their godparents. They get them something every year for everything, and like it's just a whole different vibe to me than it is. Well, from what I've experienced with black households, like.
Well, I mean,
so
I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
you saying it like that, I feel like we do that for each other's kids without even throwing that title around. So what is different about it?
I think the title. That's what just makes it different. I'm not saying that people don't care about other people's kids, like.
But when you say it's cultural, I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, you're saying they just really embrace the title?
Yeah, like she
what?
She refers to her godmom as Nina, like, and that's a different title than anyone else in the family. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I mean, culture. The only reason I'm saying, or building off of what Mark is asking, because culturally, I mean, outside of my mom and that being the only person, I mean, my culture is black culture, and my godparents are black, so it's like I don't know if it's necessarily.
Do you refer to them as that, or it's only like a big family thing?
Like, do you call them your godmom and goddad?
I refer to them as my godparents when I'm talking to people. But when I'm with them, no, I mean, when I'm with them, yeah, you're right. It's just, we're just family. Like, I don't go up to them and be like, hey, goddad, godmom. Like, I don't give them a specific title when I'm right. It's just.
And it could be different, honestly, because Janae's godmom is her aunt, too. So, like.
Yeah. I think more than anything, I feel like that's a culture thing. That
it's family and not a friend?
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you, in my mind, when I think about black culture, it's usually going to be your best friend, right? It's going to be your mom or your dad's best friend. It's going to be somebody that is not your immediate family. Correct. Correct. Your cousin. Correct. Correct.
It could be that. That's the difference right there.
Because even, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was about to say, I'm not opposed to godparents. You
don't feel like it's a need.
Yeah, it doesn't mean as much to me to designate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the people that's in that spot are already in that spot anyway.
Yeah. For real, I think also what's I see a lot now when they say godparents, or I've chosen this person to be my godparents, from a younger people standpoint, is the person who they think gonna buy their kids the most stuff, the most often. That's honestly, to me, that's what. Because just like, and you kind of said it. You said, oh, they buy them stuff, or they do all these things for them at the, whatever the case may be. But I feel like that's what the reasoning is for young people nowadays, is like, oh, I'm gonna make my aunt the godmother because she gonna buy them all the good Jordans and all the cool toys, right? I see that a lot. They don't really have it's like, oh, why'd you choose? I don't really have a reason.
That makes sense. It's a weird. It is for me personally. It's cool when people have them though, and then they're close with them, like you said. Like they was taking you to Disneyland and all. I just don't have a strong feeling towards it either way.
Yeah, The more we talk about it, I agree with you because I feel like if something were to happen to me tomorrow, I know who I would expect to be there for my wife and my kids, regardless of putting somebody, giving somebody a name. So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, that's the sense I have with it. So I'm gonna say it makes perfect sense. In regards, in regards to that as a whole, you know, because you spoke about your role and how are you allowing other people to have that role? Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like. Let me take a step back. I was at one of Janae's family gathering things, right? One of the kids ran around, they like talked back to their mom or something. And one of her cousins told the kid, like, hey, don't talk to your mom like that. But I felt like I shouldn't say that to him. Like, cause I ain't that close to him, so I ain't gonna tell you nothing. But I feel like as an adult, you should be able to tell a kid that. I just felt uncomfortable, like.
Probably just based on the relationship. If you didn't, well, has there been a time where you did speak on something like that? Not with that particular kid, but
I don't know. I don't feel like I've been around that many kids to do that.
I'm the complete opposite.
You just gonna tell them, like.
And I think based off of experience around being other people's kids, my best friend's kids, and enough kids to do it, that I do also know how to approach it from a sense of, I'm just telling you not to be disrespectful to your parent. I'm definitely not stepping in like, hey, you better not be right. I'm just stepping in as an adult to say, hey, don't be yelling at your mom. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
In your tone, like you can tell
Yeah,
different.
right.
I got a tone problem. That's probably why I heard it my whole life too.
Well, I have a tone problem, but just the fact that my voice is already deep. So when I'm talking to a child for a reason of that, I'm definitely using more of a stern tone to get my point across rather than having to yell at you, right? And assert myself that way. But I'm telling you.
He got a different tone problem.
Yeah.
Oh, you just start talking. You just fly off the handle?
Don't matter who he's talking to either.
No. Yeah. I ain't got one of those things where people, what they call a filter?
Oh. You little.
You talking about what they call him?
No, it's not like what, I wouldn't say no, like, I wouldn't cuss no kid
nothing
or
outlandish.
But I definitely have a tone problem, like, just in general. Like,
Yeah.
People be offended when I'm talking a lot.
Yeah, I think
he don't sugarcoat. That's probably the best way to sum it up. He don't sugarcoat, and whatever he's saying, he wants you to focus on what he's saying rather than how he's saying it.
I said.
But everybody don't receive things that way.
Right.
So that's, from my perspective, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. But did you hear what I was saying? Though?
No, you're speaking, but did you hear?
Yeah, that's where I'll be at. With
Yeah, I think it came from thinking about it. I do think that partially for me inserting myself in those situations, regardless of who I am in the family, is number one, knowing those people. So if I go over to your house or I go over to your house and I've known you long enough and how you raise your kids enough to know that you would not tolerate something and they're only doing it because you're not around, we're not doing that. Yeah. You're not doing this just because your mom or your dad not around.
Yeah.
Because somebody else is around that's watching you. And I feel like that's really what the world need is for adults and parents to appropriately uphold what, those people.
For sure, the standard.
The standard, there you go. Thank you. Because it's people allow stuff to slide way too much just because the authority is not there, right? And that's what it comes down to. I mean, that's how I see it. So again, I would not let your kid do something, even if they're at my house without you. Yeah, sorry, buddy, can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like at the point where someone's kids would be over at your house without you, you've got enough rapport there to understand where the line is,
right,
and not to cross it.
Yeah, that's a fact. You said something about standards right now, and it made me think about, like, are we losing? In the first episode, we said we're losing recipes, but are we losing standards too? I know Marcus sent us a video on social media of
Man,
a bottle service type thing. Was it a birthday? Was it?
I don't even know if it was a birthday. I think they just were doing it for their kids, like just to have fun.
See, yeah, I've seen situations like that where like I've seen a parent like throw a whole like club vibe type party for their little kid where they give them a party bus and then they take them to the designation and it's like I feel like kids need to be kids, bro.
A child needs to stay in a child's place.
Man, kids need to be kids. We giving them bottle service. You feel like you growing up way too fast. Why you even know what bottle service was?
I agree with you, but I also feel like it's been happening. Like, is an arcade not preparation for a casino? Is Chuck E. Cheese not, you feel me? Like,
Not to me.
it ain't close to a casino, a kid-friendly casino.
I mean, I can see your thought.
I'm risking this to try and get some tickets by playing this game. I may
but
win, I may lose.
Yeah, but that's also a slight. I don't necessarily disagree, but
It may
that's
not
only a
be
slight
apples to
part.
apples.
That's only a slight portion of Chuck E. Cheese. I'm putting a token in to ride on this little ride that lasts 10 seconds.
Sure. Sure.
I mean,
The majority of the stuff there.
you're trying to win prizes.
You're trying to win a prize.
I see what you're saying, but I also feel like that's when you get older. You know what I mean? Like
And my thing is,
All right, I
when you're
thought of another
older
one.
and it involves the casino, you got your own money. Go spend your own money.
Y'all ever cheers with apple cider when the adults was cheersing with champagne?
yeah,
Ain't that the same thing too?
no.
Like it's letting you have the fun part of the experience, but from a child's place. I think that's what they're trying to accomplish with that.
Yeah, but the difference is like, well, to me at least,
Mm-hmm.
a Cheers is like. First of all, I was only champagne and Cheers is on New Year's Eve when it hit midnight. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, or if it was Christmas or something, and all the adults had champagne,
Right.
the kids had. Did I say that backwards? No, champagne. They had champagne. We had apple cider.
Right.
I think what the stark difference for me is like there is no kid friendly bottle service. Like
Right, that's
you
only an adult
you're
thing, yeah.
emulating just only an adult. Like
My thing is what leads into doing stuff like that, specifically to that video that you had sent, was now look at all these things kids are doing for prom.
Man, no, that is
That it
crazy.
starts at that. So cool,
is
they having
crazy.
fun doing the bottle service as a birthday party, or they're doing you're only 9, but we got you a party bus to go here. And then you look at what's been going on this year for proms. I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
They going
prom's
out and
crazy.
getting Lamborghinis. They buying $4,000 prom dresses. I'm like, nah, not me. Nah,
no, prom is insane. I
It's-
ain't gonna cap to you. Prom.
that's wild.
First of all, kids in general just got it way better. Kids is getting good haircuts. Like I don't want to throw it. I don't want to take it that far back. But when I was young,
Raise your hand if your mom ever cut your hair.
Or somebody just that was not supposed to be cutting your hair.
Somebody who don't cut hair was
my
cutting your
aunt,
hair.
older cousins, all that, we was getting them terrible hair. Boy, I had a bolio one time. Boy, I looked so crazy. My young pictures, I don't even like showing nobody no old pictures. I got the craziest haircuts, bro.
Yep.
Now they getting $40 haircuts. And they get to choose what style.
Oh,
Give him one all over, as low as possible.
Your options was, do you want it square or round in the back? Which one you want? Hurry up.
Bald. Yeah, was getting that. Like I don't.
and I didn't even get that. I probably had long hair, braids, ponytail all the way up until 12 years old, and the only reason I got a haircut start crying, telling my dad, "You never let me do anything in life." He said, "Oh yeah, all right." So it took me to the barbershop, got me a little fresh cut, but I started crying as soon as they cut the first lock off. He was like, "You said you wanted to."
Dang.
I didn't know that. That's funny though.
Yeah, yep.
How old were you?
When that happened, 11 or 12.
Dang.
Yeah, it had to be 12 because I was in 7th grade. That's right around
You had
7.
long hair.
Huh?
I forgot
Yep.
you had long hair. Dang.
Yep.
You never let me do anything. All right.
And it was I was supposed to be going to I don't remember. Back to the godparent thing. I was supposed to be going to Atlanta to visit one of my god sisters, same family. And I don't know why, but just something told me like, man, I ain't trying to go to Atlanta with no long hair. Like I need a fresh cut.
You trying to be like somebody? Who you trying to be like?
At that time, not no one. I was too busy getting called Lil Fizz that I needed a change. So, but yeah, he was.
Hey, yo.
Look, because now he's thinking about how I used to look.
Yo. That is funny.
But yeah, it just, I don't remember it.
We need to put a picture up at this part of the conversation.
I don't have none. I'm not reaching out to my mom, dad, nobody for no pictures.
We'll figure it out.
Lil Fizz is crazy.
Yeah, but yeah. So, but no. Back to the prom thing. Yeah, it's wild. Like, I've been seeing some videos like that resurface from then. That's crazy. That's crazy. Couldn't do it.
Man.
Would y'all even remotely let y'all, like, even at that point in time, prom is, you can go in high school at any point in time, depending on who asks you, but let's just say junior in high school, you letting them do anything to the extent of what you see on the internet now.
They doing the regular, like, what was extreme for us was like getting the party bus.
The limo.
Yeah.
And everybody meeting up at one spot, going to eat dinner, and then going to the prom.
Yeah, that's what they doing. Nah, bro. We not renting no cars for you to go to prom and stunt and act like you got it.
But and it's all of them though. Like if it's a group of us, the whole prom back to back Lambo, Maybach. I'm like, they busting out the plastic, acting brand new.
I can't even wrap my mind around that being real life. I feel like that's just for Twitter and Instagram. Like that.
For sure.
That blows my mind to think kids is really asking their parents to spend that kind of money on prom. Not a wedding. Prom. That's insane.
That's immature parenting. Unless they really got it like that. But
Facts.
That sound like some keeping up with the Joneses type.
Yeah,
right
for
there.
sure. For sure.
But that reminds me. You said you told your dad you never let me do anything. Did y'all ever have a moment where y'all ran away or was gonna run away?
Oh,
I don't think I did. I think my brother did. No, I know my brother did for sure, but I don't think I did.
I did. I packed my backpack and everything.
Let me tell you before, this to talk about how the times have changed. My brother ran away, and one of the elders in the neighborhood took him back to the crib. Like, no, we ain't doing that.
Oh, no, that's wild. Yeah, because nobody gonna do that nowadays.
Oh,
Man.
no.
But they knew what house he belonged to, you know what I mean? Like they took him back over like I'm saying, like it was a real community. It wasn't just let me call the police, it's a lost kid here. It was Sean.
Go home.
Go. What is you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you go ahead.
But I ain't really followed through, but it was the intent that I had to do it. Packed a backpack, some clothes, I was headed out of there. I don't remember what happened, but I ain't end up going though. I think I started thinking like,
where I'm gonna go?
Where I'm gonna go? Yeah.
I had that same thought. I packed a bag, did all that. I got to the front door. My mom was like,
"If you leave,
you can go. We'll just take off everything that I bought." So I took off the backpack.
Oh.
I took off the backpack and took off my shoes. She was like, "Socks, shoes,
drawers,
all that. You didn't buy none of that."
You like, wait,
I turned around, went back in the room, started crying, bro.
How you bold enough to run away, but not bold enough to just keep your clothes on and do it?
I don't know. For
some reason, that made you.
She would have got up there.
She would have on me. Like,
you could have took off.
Yeah,
that's all it was. The mental hold.
Yeah, because honestly, there was no reason for me to feel like that matters.
Yeah, if I'm leaving, I'm leaving.
How would y'all respond to your kids if they would say, "I'm running away"?
I probably try not to laugh at first. Bro, these kids got it so good. It's just crazy to think, like, what do you think is out there? I try not to laugh. I might laugh. But I like your mom's approach because she brought logic into it of like, okay, if you want to do it that bad, show me. And then you taking stuff off and you like, damn, man, I don't want it that bad.
Yeah.
I like that approach.
I probably would go the same route, or I'd be like, "Where we going? Like, You run away. We both run.
We
away.
both were.
Where we going?
You want me to go with you? Or yeah, I probably the same approach. I don't, because I would laugh as much as I would not want to. I would laugh because that would be the response is, what are you running away for? What really is that bad for you to run away?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Like, bro, my dog knows better than to run away. He know it ain't gonna be better out there. But if you think it's gonna be better,
He said, you know it ain't gonna be better out there.
like what?
Oh man, no, that's crazy. Your dog know better.
He knows better. If I let him outside, he's not gonna take off running.
And most
We
times,
feed him. We take good care of him.
and most times your dog won't go past a certain point. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going past
He's
the
smart
driveway.
enough to know, bro. The grass ain't greener over there,
It ain't never greener.
man.
That's crazy.
Hey, I know we have this thing with our podcast where we're talking about being dads and it's kind of serious. But I just want to tell y'all, man, I enjoy having these conversations with y'all.
For sure.
No,
Gives me
big
some
facts.
nostalgic.
Big facts.
I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Fulfilling.
Yeah.
Fulfilling feeling.
It makes you happy.
Yeah, looking at it. Dumbass.
Hey, that's good, man.
Nah, for sure.
Likewise too. It'd be like therapy, but also like a good hangout for real.
Yeah.
Same time.
Man, good hangout.
And we'd be reflecting, thinking about stuff we ain't thought. Like, when's the last time you really thought about yourself trying to run away? That's funny to think about.
I haven't until now.
That's funny to think about. It
Haven't
take
thought
us
about it
back.
in a long time. But shoot, man, I feel like this was a very light-hearted episode.
We done?
You know, I feel like we good where we at. You know, you want to keep talking? We keep talking. I got more things we can talk about.
What you got?
We can talk about kids and music. You know, now let me preface this.
Okay.
We all L.A. West Coast. You know, West Coast. You know,
West Coast. Shout out to
Cade
TC.
is only 18 months, right? But if he hears "Not Like Us,"
Dude,
boy, go crazy.
I'm talking about my kids West Coast to the death. Because my daughter will not. Both of them, they'll listen to whatever the Disney movies got on there, and they'll know Frozen and all the movies. But we in the car the other day, they talking about Ovi Ho in unison, talking about they not like us. I'm like, where did this come from?
Man.
But
Yeah,
hey,
it's something about that song.
it's the song. It's-
Cade can't talk, but he be wop 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 wop. It's like, yeah, I'll turn it on, bro. Let's do it. But I really brought that up to ask you guys, like, at what age or at what point do you start censoring their music, if you do at all? Because I don't know.
when they're with us or when they listen to it. No, let me rephrase. I guess I don't censor my music. If we in the car, we listen to what I'm listening to. I'm not playing no edited versions of nothing. That is what it is.
That's how I be too. But
I mean-
I don't know if that'll change for me.
I'll be
When he-
censoring stuff.
You do?
Yeah, for the most part. Like in the car especially, we 9 times out of 10 we listening to what she want to listen to. I don't know how long we're gonna allow that because
Yeah.
I'll be sick of Taylor Swift and them
Oh,
and the Disney soundtracks and all that. I'll be over it.
Trolls
But
soundtrack.
that's what we do because I don't know. We like to present a certain way for her and I guess practice what we preach with her. But we're also mindful to the fact that when she's not with us, she's gonna hear and see things. So if we're around somebody else and they don't censor their words as well as we do, or if something happens to be on the TV that doesn't, you know, we don't freak out about it because it's like we know you're gonna be exposed to these things. But the important thing is that you understand how to conduct yourself. You may hear somebody say these words, you don't say these words, and you, as long as you understand that, it's fine with me. Like, you got to have a way that you uphold a certain thing for yourself.
And now-
you can't control nobody else.
And I will say, let me back up a little bit. I don't censor what I listen to in the car when they are with me, but there are definitely songs that I know even in my mind, I'm like, that's a nasty song. And I will change it. Like, you know,
Yeah, like
there's
it's a
certain
little
things
too
that are
much.
too far. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's a little
certain
too
things
much.
that are a little bit too much, but not like us or something that I know I'm like, okay, cool. It says curse words or it says cool, but it'd be some songs out there that I'm like, I don't want you to repeat that. I don't want you to listen to it to even think about repeating it. Yeah. So I will say that. I don't want to act like I just don't censor anything.
I get it for real.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm asking that too because I'm kind of, me personally, I don't really think I have to censor the music because I know at one point, if he's anything like his dad, my son, he gonna act like me at a certain point. Like, I'm trying to beat around the bush, but like the N word.
Oh.
A lot of people know I say it. Some people have never heard me say it. But I know at some point my kids are gonna know what the N word is.
Yeah.
And they probably will say it a couple times. You know, like I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, like, from my experience, that's just how it be for real. Like so at what point do we censor this, or is it just like always the conversation of we know we don't conduct ourselves this way?
At what point do we censor it, you saying?
Yeah. If we do at all.
That's a good question, because I don't know. I feel like that word is different than some of the other words, in my opinion, where my wife probably disagrees too, but I would feel more comfortable saying that word in front of my kid than certain cuss words, you know, or talking in a certain way. But I think that's partially because that's like part of our culture. Yeah. And
Janae disagrees, by the way.
That she don't want them to say.
She like
mine too.
Yeah, I'm knowing. I'm knowing.
Yeah, mine. Amber don't want them to say it, and I'm like, it is what it is. Like,
I don't know, man. As much to me as without getting political and getting deep, as being a black man in America and raising someone who's gonna be a black man in America, that ain't really something. That part of this. That's the most lighthearted part of the conversation to me. Like, for real. Like, there's a lot more. There's bigger fish to fry than if you saying this word that we culturally agree is something we're comfortable with and is a term of endearment. And you know, I ain't tripping off that for real. As much as some of this other stuff.
That culturally, if I tell you that you shouldn't say it, that you probably gonna say it 1,000 times during your days at school. Because culturally, that's just what it's going.
I started saying that word in like 2nd or 3rd grade.
And another thing, I don't know about other cultures, but I know personally and the people around me, that may be a part of why we code switch so well when we get older. And we're able to filter our language in certain scenarios where it's beneficial to talk a different way or whatever, because we've been doing that
our whole life.
Yeah.
Because when we talk to each other, it's understood as one thing. When we talk to other people, it may be misunderstood.
Right.
Man, hey, that was a fire point right there.
That was.
That code switch and stuff. But hey, look, we need to wrap it up.
Yeah.
The timer didn't went off. You feel me? We're going to wrap it up. There was another great episode number 5. Shout out to the Mac. You know, you know. If you don't, you don't. You feel me?
5.
We're going to whisper. But yeah, like we said before, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fly Father Fraternity. Follow us on Instagram at Fly Father Fraternity. Get the merch, flyfatherfraternity.com.
Talk to them.
You can get shirts, wristbands, and keychains as of now.
And we got new shirts dropping soon.
New shirts. We might got some new hats for you too.
Be on the lookout.
How you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, until next time, stay fly with the guys. We out.